In this workbook, we're going to look at how you can protect your worksheets and workbooks. It's very, very important, particularly if other people are going to be using your worksheets and workbooks, that you protect them. You don't want a situation where people can inadvertently delete or tamper with your formulas. So we're going to look at this module how you can protect your worksheets from having formulas deleted or altered. Protection is a two-step process. First of all, let's look at the logic of it. Strangely enough, in every single worksheet in Excel, if I go and I click in Excel, I go to Format Cells and go to Protection. By default, every cell is locked already, which is a bit strange because you wonder then how can I enter values into it. Well, the answer is down here. Locking cells or hiding formulas has no effect until you protect the worksheet. So this actual locking process is not implemented until you go and protect your worksheet. In actual fact, if you protect it, if you go to View and Review and Protect Worksheet and Password, what's happened now is that every single cell is protected. I cannot enter a value or change a value in any cell. So the process of protecting the cells in your worksheet is a two-step approach. First of all, you need to tell Excel which cells to unlock. Think about if you want somebody to have access to a cupboard, you're going to unlock the cupboard. Well, likewise here, if we want the user to have access to particular cells to change, we're going to have to unlock those cells. So in this example here, we have amounts to be sold in various months, and over here we are grouping these transactions by month, and we're using a sum product function here. But I want a situation where I don't want people to be able to change any of these formulas or anything here. In reality, looking at this worksheet, I'm saying that the only cells that I want the users to be able to change are these cells here, where they can input an amount and a date, and that's it. Every other cell I don't want the user to have access to. So basically I need to unlock these cells here. So I can right click and format, or I can go to the Format Cells dialog box and Protection, and we want to make sure that these highlighted cells are unlocked. That is step one of the process. It gives you an important reminder here that to finish the process you must do step two, which is you must protect the worksheet. So we're going to do that now. So we got to go to Review, Protect Sheet. We can type in a password here. Before we do that, allow all users of this worksheet to, well, I'm going to just keep the default settings here. They can select or unselect cells, but that's all they're going to be able to do with the locked cells. So I'll put in a password. It allows the password again, and I click OK. This worksheet is now protected. If I try to change this cell here, it won't let me. It's protected and therefore read only. If I try to change this cell here, it won't let me. The only cells that a user or I can change on this particular worksheet now are these cells here. Note the formulas here working fine. It's just that I can input values into any of these cells here. That's all. I can't even enter a value into a empty cell because I did not unlock that particular cell. The only way you can enter a value into an unlocked cell is if you have the password to do so. If I want to unlock that, I can type in the password, and now I can that worksheet is unlocked, and we can type values in. You might want a situation where not only do you want to not allow people to change or alter your formulas, but you might want to actually hide your formulas from view. So we'll look at that process now. I want to hide these formulas and also of course lock them. So I'm going to select, right click, Format Cells. We're going to keep these cells locked. I don't want people having access to them, but I'm also going to hide these cells as well. And again, this is step one. You must always do the final step, which is you've got to protect the worksheet. So if we go to view, protect sheet, password, password. Now I can't change those formulas, but if you look in the formula bar, the formulas are no longer even visible. They work fine. If we look here, value 426, if I change an amount here in June to say 1,000, once you hit the enter key, you'll see that the value here has updated. The formulas are working fine. You just can't change them, nor can you see these formulas. Now you might have a situation where you actually want to protect the whole workbook, that maybe you don't want anybody having access to this workbook unless they have a password. So you can protect your workbook from anybody having a view of it without the password. If we go up to file here and we go save as, here you type in the name and the type of workbook, but down here beside the save button you have tools. If you click on that, if you click on general options, in here you can type in a password to open and a password to modify. So there's two options you have there: password to open, password to modify, and open but not modify. Type in your passwords there, click OK, and therefore if somebody tries to open this particular workbook, they won't be able to do so unless they input the required password, thereby keeping it this workbook very, very secure. In versions 2010 onwards, you do also have the option in the home ribbon to go to format, and you have lock cell. Of course, as it's locked at the moment, therefore that's not visible. If I just unprotect that worksheet, go back to home, format, and we have lock cell. And of course the same procedure, if you do lock a cell this way, you must do the second step, of course, which is you must protect the sheet for your worksheet to be protected. One other point too, when you're unlocking cells, you might have a situation where you want to unlock a range of cells here and maybe a range of cells over here, and if I try to select this here, this becomes unselected. So how do I select non-contiguous parts of my worksheet? Well, if I highlight the first one, if I hold down the control key, keep the control key pressed down, and now I can highlight non-contiguous parts of my worksheet, and then we could unlock those particular cells and then protect the worksheet.